comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So, the more I read about history and politics, geopolitics, religion, fucking ideologies, all of it, the more worried I get for the world. Because I will probably spend the next 20 years like buried in this shit, and I'll come out of it with like a rudimentary understanding of what has happened. Just generally what's happened. Not even like my own ideas on what's happened. Just like, oh yeah, there were some Indians, there were some Arabs, there was some Russians, there was Rome, there were the Greeks, that sort of stuff. Not much further than that. And that's going to take me 20 years just to get a grounding in it. I needed to have started 20 years ago to come up with my own ideas. But the more I read, the more I'm like, people need to know this. People need to understand what the fuck has happened and how we got here. And then I think about how much work it actually takes to get some sort of understanding. You have to be a little bit autistic about it because some of it is just like dense and boring. So you have to have an interest in it. If you have no interest in it, there's no fucking way you could even get 2 pages through a book. So that's a barrier to entry as well. Just the sheer boredom of it. But you need to know. People need to know these things. If you're cut off from history, you're fucked. And we're all cut off from history. So you need to do the work to understand it. And when I think about the work it takes, I'm like, it just is, it's not happening. It's not fucking happening. The hurdle is too high. It's too big to overcome. Cunts aren't going to be going out there and spending $900 on Arnold Toynbee's fucking A Study of History, 12 volumes. And then it's not even about buying it. It's reading it and then understanding it and then getting it to stick and then attaching it while mapping it over current history and then drawing conclusions and finding the through lines. And I'm just like, people aren't going to do it. And that's a fucking huge hurdle. So you got to be motivated enough to just do that. And then in the background, while all that's happening, there's fucking bells and whistles and fucking internet and AI and fucking video games and sports and pussy and dick and fucking everything's just flying past you. And you're trying to like just get some shelter from the storm to read a fucking book to figure out how the fuck we got in this situation. And then when you've punched through all the fucking shit that's distracting you, your brain is such mush that you can't even fucking read. So you're looking at the words and they're morphing into like fucking ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs because you're doing long-term damage to your fucking cerebral fucking cortex or whatever the fuck it's called. Neocortex? What is it? Who cares? I'm history, not anatomy. So it takes like fucking half an hour of like concentrated effort just to look at the fucking words on the pages and get them to turn back from hieroglyphs to fucking standard alphabet. And then once that's happened, you get like 2 or 3 pages in. And because your brain has just been fucking smashed with like dopamine hits, little mini dopamine hits for the last fucking 8 hours just scrolling, you've squeezed every last fucking drop of dopamine and serotonin out of it. And then you start to read. And after a page, your brain just shuts down and you fall asleep. It cuts out. So then you need to overcome the cutting out. So you fall asleep 8 times per page And after about 3 hours of this battle, you've got like 4 pages in that you have to go back and completely reread because none of it stuck. And now you're like 4 hours in and nothing's happened. You're like 5 pages. And then you're like, should I just scroll? But I tell you what, like, because it's such a big hurdle to cross. It's too much. You can't expect any more than like maybe like 0.1% of all of humanity, not even that much, 0.01% to get that. Actually, not even that, fucking, it could be 0.001. It might not even be that. It might be a few more zeros. But you can't expect that many people to get that deep into the weeds on this shit. So it's making me think more and more about religion. You just need a structure to live by. You need something so you can be guided by some principles, so you don't need to read all the bullshit. Like the fucking 10 Commandments. Like, don't kill, don't steal, don't fuck fat bitches, whatever they are. I'm not even sure what all 10 of them are. But if you just follow those and have faith in like a higher power, then you don't need to really worry about the history of the world. You can just follow those. It's very simple. You don't have to fucking read. You don't even have to read the Bible. Be kind. Follow those 10 rules. Believe that God will guide you. And if bad things happen, that's a test or whatever. You can do it with any of the religions, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism. Just follow the core tenets. I'm not too sure what the rest of the core tenets are, but generally it's like be good, be a good person, be kind to others. Like the practicing religions, not the co-opted fucking extreme versions of any of this shit. But you know what I mean? It just seems like logically easier, because I don't think you can just be out there in the world being guided by some ideas you came up with yourself. Like you can, as long as things are going good. If things are going good, like you can come up with anything you want and live by that. But as soon as your fucking ideas come up against like evil or are tested against other better ideas, or like as soon as they're put under strain, you'll capitulate. So logically, I'm starting to think like a religion or I'm thinking more of faith, because religions, there's just been too much kid fucking in all the religions for them to be taken seriously. You have to find like the uncorrupted versions of any of the religions, which is hard because it's all fucking corrupted. But you need to have some sort of fucking faith of some sort. Otherwise, you just have to read so many books. You see what my plan is, don't you? I'm going to ditch reading everything and just take up a religion. I'm like, that's way too hard. Allah is God, peace be upon him. Inshallah. Inshallah. Oh my God. All of it's just fucking hard, isn't it? Everything's hard. Anyway, fucking, that's what I've been doing with my Saturday night. I've just been reading history shit. Anyway, fucking, I gotta get back to it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you the fuck later.